அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி ஆதரித்தருள்வாயே ஆனந்த பைரவி அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி மாமாயன் சோதரி அருள் புரி லலிதாங்கி மாமாயன் சோதரி அருள் புரி லலிதாங்கி மதிமுகத்தில் புன்னகை மலரம் காத்திடுவாள் மோகனாங்கி மதிமுகத்தில் புன்னகை மலரம் காத்திடுவாள் மோகனாங்கி ஆரண பொருளை ஏந்த கௌரி மனோகரி ஆரண பொருளை ஏந்த கௌரி மனோகரி பூரண போரி உள்ள தேவ மனோகரி அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி கார்த்திகையனை தந்த கமலா மனோகரி கார்த்திகையனை தந்த கமலா மனோகரி காக்கும் பணியே பார் கல்யாணி காக்கும் பணியே பார் கல்யாணி ஹிமவனின் செல்வியே ஹேமவதியே ஹிமவனின் செல்வியே ஹேமவதியே இதமுடனே பிழைகள் பொறுப்பாய் ஷாமளே இதமுடனே பிழைகள் பொறுப்பாய் ஷாமளே அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி ஆதரித்தருள்வாயே ஆனந்த பைரவி அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி துயரத்தை அகற்றிடும் துர்காதேவியே துயரத்தை அகற்றிடும் துர்காதேவியே துன்பமகலவும் தாழ் பணிந்தேன் ராஜனே துன்பமகலவும் தாழ் பணிந்தேன் ரஞ்சனே சங்கரியே நீ சங்கராபரணம் சங்கரியே நீ சங்கராபரணம் ஜகத்தினர் போற்றிடும் மாதா பவானி ஜகத்தினர் போற்றிடும் மாதா பவானி அமுதமயமான அமிர்தவர்ஷிணி
जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता, जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता। द्वार तिहारे जो भी आता, द्वार तिहारे जो भी आता, बिन मांगे सब कुछ पा जाता। जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता, जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता। तू चाहे तो जीवन दे दे, चाहे तो पल में जीवन ले ले। तू चाहे तो जीवन दे दे, चाहे तो पल में जीवन ले ले। जन्म मरण सब हाथ में तेरे, हे शक्ति है माता। जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता, जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता। पापी हो या होए पुजारी, राजा हो या होए भिखारी। पापी हो या होए पुजारी, राजा हो या होए भिखारी। फिर भी तूने जोड़ा सबसे माँ बेटे का नाता। जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता, जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता। जब जब जिसने तुझको पुकारा, तूने दिया है बढ़ के सहारा। जब जब जिसने तुझको पुकारा, तूने दिया है बढ़ के सहारा। हर भूले राही को माँ तेरा प्यार ही राह दिखाता। जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता, जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता। द्वार तिहारे जो भी आता, द्वार तिहारे जो भी आता, बिन मांगे सब कुछ पा जाता। जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता, जय जय हे जगदम्बे माता।
विविधा हि स्वरूपा देवी परा, महाकाली च लक्ष्मी सरस्वतीया। पुरुषार्थप्रदायिनि देवी परा, राजराजेश्वरी पराशक्ति उमा। कल्याणकरि देवी समष्टिपरा, परिवारसुपालिनि व्यष्टि सदा। दुर्गा वरदा भयनाशिनि मां, मम तामसहारिणि पालय मां। सदा स्वार्थस्य सिद्धित्वया, कृपया परिपूर्णपरार्थप्रदायिनि इहलौकिकज्ञानप्रदायिनि मा परलौकिकविद्याप्रदर्शिनि मा श्रुतिदेवि सरस्वती वेदमयी वरदे वरं देहि मे मोक्षप्रदे जय हे शिवशक्तिमयी जय हे शुभलक्ष्मीमयी जय हे श्रुतिसारमयी जय हे जगदात्ममयी जय हे शिवशक्तिमयी जय हे शुभलक्ष्मीमयी जय हे श्रुतिसारमयी जय हे जगदात्ममयी
Hari Om. It is my true honor and pleasure to introduce to you our special guest speaker today, Dr. Medha Bhagwat. Who does not know Medhaji? A popular Bal Vihar teacher, a friend, Pujya Gurudev's devotee, or one of the most dedicated sevaks in Chinmay Mission. In 1970s, her parents introduced her to Pujya Gurudev. And in late 1980s, she moved to Maryland with her family. With the grace of Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Guruji, and Swami Dhirananda, she continued leading and supporting many Chinmay Mission activities. Professionally, she grew into an eminent leader and scientist at NIH. And at the same time, her spiritual journey accelerated with her dedication to Vedantic education. In 2017, retiring early from NIH, she joined the 2-year Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Powai, along with her husband, Dr. Arvind Bhagwat. Her scientific approach to learning Vedanta reflects as she very systematically analyzes and presents complex concepts of Vedanta into simplified ideas that are so easy to digest. Many of you must be aware of her unique workshops where she beautifully integrates biological sciences into practical daily Vedanta living. Well, helping others in need is her second nature. I hear that even the course mates at Pavai Ashram benefited from her help in learning Sanskrit language and Gita chanting. In 2019, Medhaji returned to our region, serving CMWRC, conducting study groups, Devi groups, workshops, and so on. Some of the popular topics you know are Vanaprastha and Upanishad Ganga series. Please join me in welcoming our very own loving, caring, compassionate teacher at heart, Dr. Medha Bhagwat. Let us enjoy the satsang. Hari Om.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Pranam Swamiji. Pranams to fellow other Vedanta teachers and my beloved Devis and Devas. All of you, my pranams to all of you. Now, when I was listening to Devyani just now, I was thinking, let's stop there only. Because what a nice introduction I have. And I was like, tell me some more, tell me some more. So she was speaking so nicely. I thought she should continue this talk, and I would love to listen to her what she is going to talk about Vedanta. So it was such a nice and I guess a little bit flattering introduction, but here we go. All right, we'll get started. So when I was thinking what I should be presenting in this Navaratri 2020, I was planning, brainstorming, and I was thinking, I'm a part of this huge series where there are lots of experienced, well-known, and knowledgeable speakers than me. And I'm just a new kid on the block over here. But at the same time, I got one phone call from one of the Devis who attends my Devi Satsang. And she said, you know what you taught yesterday in Shishu Vihar and you taught in couple of days back in Devi, our Devi group, combine it together. So yes, by the way, we have Shishu Vihar and I am so grateful for the satsang, these little ones we are giving, and CMWRC is doing it as an offering to Gurudev for free. So I'm privileged to be with these little Krishnas and Radhas and Rama and Sita. It's such a joy to be with them. But anyway, she said to me, you should combine whatever you said in the Shishu Vihar we were doing for Navratri, and also what you just conducted in our Devi group. I said, are you kidding? Those who are common, those Devis, they would think Medha knows only this much. And so we had a big laugh. And as I can see, all of you are also laughing. So with this light note, let's begin. All right. So now that I have your attention with that smile. Okay. So what is Navratri? Navaratri is Nava and Ratri. Nava can stand for 9. Also, it stands for new. And Ratri is, we translate as night, but it is also actually that what protects. Rati iti Ratri, as many of you would know. So it is 9 days of protection. Since the puja is at night, it is called Ratri. So it is 9 days and nights of protection. So that's what Navaratri actually means. So going further, these 3 previous speakers, Vivek ji, Vilasini ji, and Lakshmi Sukumar ji, they have set up a nice theme and they have built up a theme that I would now go further on. So as we know, Navratri is divided into 3 sections. First 3 days for removing the negativities. Next 3 days for adding positive virtues. And the next 3 days so these 6 days prepare us to get knowledge. And then next 3 days for the knowledge, imbibing the knowledge. And the last 10, they would be the victory. So what I thought, now that this theme is set up, we are introduced to it, I would build on it further. And I was thinking, satsang is one such thing which can do all these 3 parts. So I'm going to little bit talk about satsang in the beginning, the glory of satsang, how it can cover all these 3 parts which Navratri is supposed to cover. I will take some shlokas and quotes from different scriptures. Then what I thought, I will go further with example of one Devi. So this is Navratri. I will take one example of one Devi Stotra and then study from that these three different parts about the Navratri. And then lastly and most importantly, how we bring this in our day-to-day life, practical. So some practical tips for our day-to-day practice. Because what happens, we have been listening this 9 days, beautiful talks. Next couple days, what I want to say, the height that we have reached is there. But then slowly we start getting down, and then practice, there is nothing. So we need to practice. So we need to have some practical tips. So towards the end, I will concentrate on practical tips for invoking the Devi spirit, divine spirit, and then working on all these three aspects of Navaratri, removing negative, adding positive, and adding the knowledge also. Okay, so that's my plan. I will try to cover in 3 sections. So already, let's see how we go from here now. Okay, so first part, I will try to finish in time now that it's already almost 7:50. So Satsanga. First part is I'm going to concentrate on Satsanga. Satsanga, as I have done in some of the Devi groups, so those I'm going to ask them questions. No, just kidding. So that everybody would be on the toes saying Satsanga, then they will turn off their cameras and they will walk away. She's going to ask me questions. No, I won't ask you questions. I'm just keeping you on the toes, as you know, so that everybody is awake and with me. So Satsanga is Sat Sangha, simply. It is Sangha, association with Sat, that is the Brahman or the highest principle that we would think about. It is not always possible to have Satsanga, imagining or knowing or revealing that I am Brahman. Although we are, but we are not able to do it. So then what next point is, we come in contact or in the company of those who revel in Brahman, the sages, saints, etc. That is also not possible many times physically. So then we listen to their books or their audio, video, etc. Now on Zoom, that is also possible. That's one aspect. And the another is, as we are doing right now, satsanga with fellow other people who are spiritually seekers. And in company with them, we try to imbibe good vibrations. And it is said that whenever we are doing such vibration, or whenever we are doing such satsang, rishis and sages are blessing us. They are sending the blessings. We have to receive, we have to be receptive for that. As Vivekji mentioned in his talk, that our sunshine is there, but our windows need to be open. The blinds need to be open. Same way, we have to have we must go closer to whenever those vibrations are there. Another example, beautiful example, is we have to tune to the appropriate radio station or TV station. Vibrations, waves are being sent. Unless we tune to it, we are not going to receive those vibrations. So we have to learn to receive these vibrations from the satsang, those are coming. Okay, now that's in brief for the satsang. 3 points. I'm going to give 3 quotes or 3 shlokas for satsanga. First one is for getting over negative things. One of the part of the Doha that I really like from Ramayana, while we were in Sandipani, Guruji was teaching Ramayana in Vibhuti. And we were fortunate that those talks were shown to us in the afternoon during our nap time, 2 to 3 times. In the afternoon, those talks were shown, and we learned Ramayana so much from those talks also. So one of that has stuck with me, it has touched my heart. It is Santa Sangha Apabarga Kara. It is from Uttarkanda. If you want to write, Uttarkanda is part of 33rd Doha. Santa Sangha Apabarga Kara. So Santa Sangha easy. Apabarga is translated as moksha, gives us liberation, gives us freedom. Now I have covered that in one of my Devi groups also. So this would be a review for them. What is Apabarga? As I said, it is considered as moksha, but in Sanskrit language, there are different vargas as they are called. As in Marathi also is the same thing. Ka varga, ka, kha, ga, ga, nga. Same way for pa, it is pa, fa, ba, bha, ma. So Santa Sangha removes this pa varga. It removes pa, fa, ba, bha, and ma. What does that mean? Let's elaborate a little bit. Pa stands for papa. Santa Sangha removes or helps us remove papa, number one, pa. Fa, excuse me, fa, phala. Pa, fa, ba is bandhana. Then bha, bhaya, and ma, marana. I will repeat. Pa, papa, fa, phala, ba, bandhana, bha, bhaya, and ma, marana. So satsanga helps us get over these 5 things. I won't elaborate way too much because short of time. I'm keeping track of time over here. I want to spend time in this final practical tips also more. Sorry, what's happening? Okay, so papa meaning what? It is a tendency to do wrong things. So because of we do something wrong, we suffer because of it. As Gurudev used to say, you are not punished for your sins, but by your sins. When we do something wrong, we experience sorrow right here and as if we are going to hell. So we have to learn to not do things which we are not supposed to do and do things which we are supposed to do. So Satsanga helps us in guiding along those lines. What is right, what is wrong, what I should do, what I should not do. At least we become aware about it. Not that next day we'll start doing it, but it comes to our mind. Hey, I heard that in Satsang. I'm not supposed to do this. So that is pa or papa. Next is phala. Doing anything for getting the results. I will do this, I will get this result. I do this, I will get this result, then only I'm happy. Constantly, we are working towards our happiness depends upon that. If I get that result, then only I'm happy. So that creates bandhana also. Next one, B, bandhana. If I don't get that result, I'm not happy. So that is getting attached and creating bandhana. Actually, my nature is happy, but no, I am keeping my happiness in that object. If I get that, then I'm happy. If I have a Tesla car, then only I'm happy. But that Tesla car breaks down, I'm unhappy. So my ananda is depending upon those objects outside. So I'm creating phala and then dependence on that phala. So then that becomes bandhana. What if I lose it? I'm always afraid of that. What happens to my Tesla car? I'm parked in the outside over there. Suppose something happens. Already I have bhaya for it. So that also through satsanga, if we get aware and we say, I'm not supposed to be afraid of this. This is all temporary. This will pass. All several things we learn through satsanga. And lastly, marana. Marana is death as we would translate, but is actually death of our ego. So ego is destroyed by going to satsang and then learning about, no, I'm not the doer. Some doer is somebody else. I'm the instrument. Through me, Lord is working right now. So through satsang, we get to know that. And if you want to do more, learn this more, attend Devi's group, our Devi group. We'll be doing more. We do more in that. And already we have done it once, but for short of time, I just stop here. So first one, for removing negative things. What is that? Santa Sangha Apabarga Kara. Okay. Number 2, adding positive virtues. For that also from Satsanga, again from Ramayana, Sundar Kanda, 4th Doha. I'm not going to quote the entire 4th Doha, but what it says, the gist of it is that if you take balance, tula or weighing balance, and in one pan, if you keep the highest sukha that you can have, that is the Swarga Sukha, highest sukha that is considered in Swarga, it is in one pan, and a moment of satsanga, only a moment of satsanga. If you put in other pan, the other one is heavier. The moment of satsanga gives you much more happiness than Swarga can give you. So that is another glory of satsang. And the third one for adding knowledge or getting knowledge is, I'm taking from Bhaja Govindam, 9th shloka. Satsangatve Nisangatvam. Nisangatve Nirmohatvam. Go further, Jivana Mukti. Right? So Satsanga makes you understand that I should not be dependent on outside world for happiness. Those objects are temporary. Like Gurudev has said in Bhaja Govindam commentary, Satsanga creates a fortress around the sadhaka, outside world of objects, and Satsanga creates a shield around the sadhaka and creates understanding that my happiness should not be dependent on these outside objects. So gets Nisangatvam, and ultimately we lead to Jivan Mukti, means liberation, free while living, not dependent on something somewhere outside, begging for happiness. You give me happiness, oh, ice cream, you give me happiness. No, not like that. I'm free while I'm living, Jivan Mukti. So that's quickly part about Satsanga. I'm keeping track of time, so I have not elaborated, but in question answer, if you have, I will go further more. 3 points for Satsanga. Clear everyone with me so far? All right. Next one. Now, which Devi I'm going to choose? Already we have heard about Durga Devi, Saraswati Devi, Lakshmi Devi. So now I'm going to choose another Devi, Ganga Devi. And Ganga Devi is appropriate also because CMWRC, our deity is Shiva, and after the Aarti we chant Ganga Stotram. So from that Ganga Stotram, I'm going to take parts of it which will cover all these 3 sections. Negative, removing negative, adding positive, and for the knowledge part. Now, who wrote this Ganga Stotram? Ganga Stotram is written by, as Vilasini ji was saying, Sri Shankaracharya ji. When she mentioned, he is Advaitam Vedantin, but he was devotee also, and he had written Saundarya Lahari, as she mentioned. He has written this Ganga Stotram also. So from that, I'm going to take few points. Now, number 1, for removing negative things. What that could be? It is 1, Naraka Nivarini. You can complete. Naraka Nivarini Janhavi Gange, Kalusha Vinashini Mahimotunge. What is that Kalusha Vinashini? Kalusha, Papa, destroyer of this Papa, that is tendency to do the wrong things. And that's why we don't experience Naraka right here while living. So Naraka Nivarini. Janhavi, why Janhavi? Janhavi, because she was brought from Shiva by Rishi Jannu. He helped, so that's why she's also called Janhavi. So Naraka Nivarini, Janhavi Gange, Kalusha Vinashini, Mahimottunge. Mahima, her Mahima is Uttunga. Her glories are very high. She helps us when we invoke her strength, we are able to overcome our wrongdoings. And that means we are not going to experience sorrow or misery or naraka right here while we are living. So that's one thing. Within that, in the same section, I want to bring one part also from Ganga Sutram, Paravara Viharini. Paravara Viharini. What does that mean? That she started from the Himalayas, and her one and only goal is go through entire thing and meet the ocean, Bay of Bengal. There is a beautiful 4-minute video by our Gurudev while he was explaining Gita chapter 2, shloka 48. Yogatsa Kuru Karmani. In that he is saying, and you can do a Google search. I have brought that. If we have time, we'll see it afterwards. Otherwise, you can do a Google search, watch that 4-minute video. It's beautiful. He is explaining how we should be like Gangaji. She, no matter what, how many obstacles came, she went over, around, she kept her goal that she must go and meet the ocean. So currently now also our goal, whatever we want to have peace, whatever we want to do, any obstacles come, we have to be like Gangaji. Small pebbles will come, go over it. It's a little bit bigger one. As Gurudev is explaining, she would lift her little bit white sari, go around that big stone. And if it's a big mountain, we will feel, how am I going to go over it? Wait, as Gurudev explained, she would just hug, go around that for a mile or 2 miles, and then again in the same direction where she has started from. So it is like, be like Gangaji, invoke the strength of Gangaji, and we would be able to come obstacles also. By the way, I want to suggest one thing, as I say in the Devi group, make your own mantra to practice, which I'm going to talk about. So make your own mantra saying something to remind you at the moment of crisis. I want to be like Gangaji, meaning what? Paravaru Viharini. Or be like Gangaji, as Gurudev has said, I can come obstacles. So make your own mantra as you're going along during this talk and next remaining days also. That's just my suggestion. That helps me. Okay, going further. So I've told you about negative qualities to overcome those, how we can invoke Gangaji. Number two now what? Going into how to have the positive ones. So for positive ones, I was thinking, Bhagirathi Sukha Daini Mata Tava Jala Mahima Nigame Kyata. My tune is off, so some of you would be saying, please don't sing, say like a shloka only. But please bear with me, I'm not a singer. And especially, I don't know what's happening to my throat right now. I guess I'm just excited to talk over here. But anyway, what's that point is, Bhagirathi brought this Ganga. So Bhagirathi, Sukhadaini. We can invoke Gangaji for getting all the sukha. When do we get sukha? When we do right thing. Sukhasya moolam dharmaha. When we follow dharma, we get sukha. So by invoking Gangaji's blessings, we would know what is right and what is wrong. We would do right thing. That will lead to punya. That will lead to sukha. And we would be experiencing Swarga right now here. And in the same line which I said just now, it says, Vedas also know the glory of Gangaji. Vedas give us dharma, what is right, what is wrong. So from the Vedas, we know dharma. And from that, we invoke Gangaji. We will know what I'm supposed to do right now. If I do that correct thing, it will lead to Sukha. So she is Sukhadaini. Then the third one, going to the third aspect for the knowledge. Getting the highest knowledge also is possible because of Gangaji. And for that, I have chosen Tava Jalamamalam Yena Nipitam Paramapadam Khalu Tena Gruhitam. Just by drinking Nipitam, just by drinking a little bit of Gangaji's water, we would be able to reach Paramapadam, highest pada, because Gangaji came from the feet of the Lord, Vishnupati. She came from the feet of the Lord. So by invoking her grace, we immediately can reach the highest, the Paramapadam, that is supposed to know that I am Brahman, and we can revel in that knowledge. So invoke Gangaji just by little bit of not literally even drinking, but even invoking her grace, we should be able to go on the path of knowing what is right, what is wrong, and getting to the highest one. One more in this section I will give, and that is Yesham Rudhaye Ganga Bhakti Tesham Bhavati Sada Sukha Mukti. So whenever we have Gangaji in our heart, whenever we have devotion for her, we would be able to have Sukha, also Mukti. Mukti meaning liberation, again reaching the Paramapada and reaching I am free, I am completely happy, I don't need to depend upon something else to make me complete, I am infinite, etc., etc., etc. Now, all these words we know, but to practice is very difficult, isn't it? I am Brahman, I am Brahmasmi, I am complete. Everything, all we know, we can chant, we can say like easily, like children would say something like that. We also can say, but to practice is difficult. So that's what the next few minutes remaining, I will concentrate on that part. So what I have covered so far, Satsanga, 3 aspects for removing negative, for positive, both I took from Ramayana, and then the third one from Bhaja Govindam, the third one, right. Now, from the Ganga Stotram, I took again few examples, one for removing negative, Naraka Nivarini, one for positive, Bhagirathi Sukhadaini Mata, and 2 for the getting highest knowledge. By invoking Gangaji, we can have strength like Durga Devi, we can have purity like Lakshmi Devi, and then knowledge also from Saraswati Devi. So by invoking that grace. So far so good? Everybody with me? Now I'm switching gear, going to the third section, which is how do I practice all this now? And that is, I feel that is the important part, because that's where it becomes tangible. Otherwise, it remains simply the words in the books we read, oh, looks good, all right, move on. No, how do we practice this? So for that, again, similar concept, removing negative, adding positive and the knowledge, but I'm going to go to Chandogya Upanishad. As this one of the Devis had, as I mentioned in the beginning, she asked me to do, so I'm going to connect all these together now. Chandogya Upanishad says in the 6th chapter, says that the food that we eat is divided into 3 parts. The grossest part is thrown out. The middle part is converted into flesh, the body. And the subtlest part makes our mind. So the subtlest part makes our mind. That's what we are going to work on now. So whatever food we eat will affect our body and the mind. Now keep in mind, when I'm saying food over here, not just food that we eat through mouth. Keep in mind what we hear, what we see. This is all the input when we are taking in. It affects our body and the mind. So going further now, while cooking, or before that, let's go a step backward. While we go grocery shopping, when we are going buying vegetables, fruits, etc., what is our attitude? This Devi Mata has given us the food. Because of Ganga Devi, because of that water, because of all these fruits, vegetables are growing. Because of Devi Mata, we am getting the vegetables. Because of Devi Mata, I'm getting these fruits. I'm so blessed that I'm able to buy these fruits, buy these vegetables. Then we bring it home and we are cooking. What is our attitude while cooking? Some of us, of course, have good attitude, but sometimes we can be honest, even including me, and I would be honest. Why I have to cook all the time? I must have made 2 million chapatis in my life so far. Now, being Marathi, I'm saying chapati. You can say whatever idli, whatever you would have. And this is my generation example for chapati. Next generation would be something different. But the attitude, why I have to do it? And then that attitude goes into the food that you are cooking. And that food you would be eating and somebody else also would be eating. So our attitude while cooking is very important. When we cook for Swamiji, when we are giving bhiksha, what is our attitude? Oh, I'm cooking for Swamiji. I'm going to give it. So why not keep the same attitude while cooking for us ourselves and for our family, and be grateful that I'm able to do it. Sometimes I have seen, literally I have seen, there is a small television on the side and then cooking is going on and some show is there. Oh, she got married. Oh no, she is not going to propose right now. She will do it next time. And we are cooking over here. So what is my attitude? Where is my attention at that time? So having that divine attitude, divine feelings, am I chanting something or am I just doing it as a chore? That attitude goes into the food and that makes our mind. So if we can keep that attitude in our mind, that I'm grateful, I'm able to do, Devi Mata has given me this, I'm grateful to cook this and offer this food. Next thing, while eating the food, what is my attitude? Am I grateful? Or again, am I watching TV up there and then this hand is going like this, the movie is going on, the hand is going, and then suddenly the plate is empty. Oh, I must have eaten this. So do we, in that time also, what is our attitude? I clearly remember, I don't know whether I should say this. If somebody, maybe I will tone it down a little bit. If somebody, we are talking to somebody and that person is on the phone and not paying 100% attention to us, how do we feel? Do we like it? Nobody likes it. I remember I told one of my bosses one time, when they come here for the meeting, we are talking and then you suddenly go in the internet and you're checking your emails. We can reschedule our meeting. I said nicely, of course, but point was we feel ignored when we are talking and somebody is on the phone or something. What that food will feel when we are eating it and we are doing something else. We are on the phone, we are reading newspaper, we are watching TV, what that food would be feeling. We say, Om Brahma Arpanam Brahma, food is Brahma, everything is Brahma. Do we treat it like that? So we are not getting that blessings from the food. If it is making our mind, my attitude while cooking, while eating, everything should be divine. Divine attitude should be there. Also, same thing for any other activity that we are doing. If we keep the same attitude, today is the 4th day of Navratri. So it says that Navratri is also being compared to Navadha Bhakti. Shravanam, Mananam, Kirtanam. So 4th day is Pada Sevanam. What is Pada Sevanam? That means literally doing teachers or gurus or Ishwaras Pada Puja. But that does not mean that literally we are just doing Pada Puja. Whatever I'm doing, any action I'm doing, I'm offering it to the Lord. I'm offering it to you, Lord. So as it is said, I was mentioning earlier, chapter 2, 48 shloka, when Gurudev is talking, Yogatsa Kuru Karmani. Whatever I'm doing at that time, my attitude is I'm doing it for the Lord. Also, as we have seen in one of the our Devi group, Shiva Manas Puja. Yat yat karma karomi tat tat akhilam shambho tava aradhanam. So that is Pada Sevanam, the 4th day of Navratri. We could celebrate it that way and we would be having satsanga to ourselves all the time. That way we are invoking all the three Devis and then removing negative, adding positive, and then also reaching the highest Paramapada also. So I tried to cover three aspects through three different sections, say Satsanga, Ganga Stotram, and then cooking, like whatever input we are taking, how we are eating, how we are cooking, how we are conducting ourselves in any action that we are doing. So am I doing this as for the Lord? And then just one thing, being a scientist, I cannot help but bring this point up. I cannot elaborate, but because I see the time over here, I will say just one thing. While we are doing this eating mindfully, or doing as a seva, as a satsang, good genes are turned on and bad genes are turned off. Stress handling genes are turned on. That is a proof. And stress handling genes, stress causing genes are turned off by doing mindfully things, even eating food, anything that you are doing. That attitude makes a big difference. So ask yourself, I'm going to end with one question for your reflection and one homework for you. One question for thinking is, you think about, what is my Ganga Jala? Am I invoking this Ganga Jala in anything that I'm doing? I'm making tea. Ganga Devi has given me this water, I'm making tea. For any action, invoke Ganga Devi. What is my Ganga Jala? Or whatever mantra you want to make. And second, as a homework, go through Ganga Stotram, and in that, there are, in the several shlokas, glory of Ganga Devi is mentioned while just drinking little bit of water, doing pranam to her, taking dip in her, staying on the banks. So much glory is given by Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji. Go through it, study a little bit, take some pointers from there, and then you would be able to invoke Ganga Devi, all three Devis, to get rid of negative things, invoking positive things, and then having peace and happiness all along constantly. I hope you got the message. I would be happy to take any questions if you have. And I hope this summary was clear too. So I will just say, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much for paying attention. And now be easy on me for questions. I'm not that knowledgeable person. So be easy on me for asking questions. I would be happy to take any questions.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Pranams, Medhaji. Thank you so much for your inspiring talk on the fourth day of Navratri 2020 virtual retreat hosted by CMWRC. You explained the importance of satsang so beautifully. Thank you for giving us practical tips, which you always do, even in the Devi groups, for invoking the spirit of Devi in our lives. Make your own mantra.
Yes.
What a beautiful tip. You told us how to take inspiration from Mother Ganga and learn from her how to live our lives. We are so grateful for your presence with us in this satsang today. We have a couple of questions in the chat. I will read out for you. So the first question is, Medhaji, thank you for talking about the importance of satsang. How do we find time for satsang in our busy lives?
Very good.
And can you please tell us about some satsang opportunities that CMWRC offers during this, pandemic times when we cannot go to any of the centers?
Right. Okay. So one thing is, how do we find time? Any of the Devis want to say that we have discussed? No, I'm just kidding. One of the things is for finding timing is setting up priorities. And we will find many a times I shouldn't say waste a time, but we do waste time many a times. Watch your 24 hours. What you are doing in 24 hours, write it down. And what happens many a times, we are spending time in unnecessary things which are not urgent and not important. Like, I don't mean to say, I don't know who asked this question. I don't mean to say that person is doing it, but it happens. Gossiping, unnecessary doing something, blaming somebody else, that we can avoid. And also delegating the time. Like, for example, I need not do everything. Many a times I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. We don't delegate. So we have to learn to delegate also. And whatever way the other person will do it, we have to accept it. And keeping value, once whatever we assign value to, we find time for it. So during this pandemic also, now that there are so many satsangs, I guess if you go to CMWRC site, all those are listed, but there are Devi groups, there are adult sessions, study groups are there, so many study groups are there. So I guess I would direct you to CMWRC website. I guess that would help, because that way, whoever asks, you will get to see the entire list. But join at least one study group or a Devi group, so that you have every time same group of people are inspiring you. And then you look forward to that session, that I want to interact with these people. I want to have good vibrations. And then next week, automatically, you will come to that session, whatever 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever time it is. So make it a priority, because understand the value behind it. Once we know the value of anything, we get importance to it. Because we don't understand its value, we tend to do certain other things. I hope this explains.
Thank you so much. Maybe I can ask you one more quick question.
Okay, I will be quick in answering too.
What is the importance of chanting shlokas?
Yes, beautiful point. And actually, Arvind and I had discussed this, and he had suggested you should say this during the talk. And somehow I missed it. And then the question comes, so it is his wish that is fulfilled right now. So what happens when we are chanting shlokas? Several things happen. One is that, as I said, from scientific point of view, I would say good genes are turned on. That's for sure. Good chemicals are released from your brain. You feel good about it. Also, your memory increases. So if you understand the meaning of it, well and good. But even if you don't understand the meaning, start chanting it and see yourself, the difference. Do it for some time and see the difference that you will see in yourself. Of course, do it with devotion, even if you don't know the meaning of it, and you will see the difference. You come talk to me after 6 months, after chanting, if it has not made a difference, we'll talk further. Okay? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Medhaji, for your very inspiring talk and for clarifying our doubts. Satsang with you today was truly a pleasure. We will now conclude today's program with Devi and Chinmaya Aarti, which is being performed today by Bijoy Dash and family. Everyone, please join us. We hope to see all of you again tomorrow at 6:50 p.m. for Lalita Sahasranama. Tomorrow's program, as Deepa mentioned earlier, includes Devi Puja and will be open to all CMWRC members. So look out for an email from Andrea G tomorrow morning with a new Zoom link just for tomorrow. See you all tomorrow again. Hari Om.
जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय भयहरिणी भवतारिणी भवभामिनी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय तू ही सतचित सुखमय शुद्ध ब्रह्म रूपा सत्य सनातन सुंदर कर शिव सुर भूपा माँ जग जननी जय जय अविकारी अगहारी अकल कलाधारी करता विधि भरता हरि हर संहरकारी दश विद्या नव दुर्गा नाना शस्त्र करा अष्ट मातृका योगिनी नव नव रूप धरा माँ जग जननी जय जय जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय भयहरिणी भवतारिणी भवभामिनी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय
आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरति सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाये शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बारिकी तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
Hari Om. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Thank you Medha ji for the beautiful, beautiful talk. We're really grateful to you. Just a couple of quick announcements. As Dinesh ji has shared, guided puja instructions are available in the email as well. We'll be sending out an email with the new Zoom link tomorrow morning, just for tomorrow, for Wednesday, because the puja is open to everyone. there is a separate Zoom link for tomorrow. So please make sure you log into that, use that Zoom link to log in. And also the puja is a guided puja. So Sriji will be providing instructions. Please keep your materials ready and you can follow along on the puja. Thank you again for joining us. This concludes our program for this evening. Have a very good night. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Good.
Samatha, I think Lakshmanan just left. Can you, if he is in the waiting room, if he comes in, can you let him back? I think he made a mistake. Sorry.
Hari Om Samatha, great job. Applause. Awesome. Nice handling of that pressure. So good.
Deepa, you never clap for the other people. What is this like? Only for Samatha.
Well, Dinesh is a pro, right? Like for all of us, like we are like in awe of Samatha today because
I really agree. You know, during some Ramakrishna, and I still remember there were like 5 or 6 of us, and she was the one person who didn't say. She said she didn't want to be a co